If you clicked on this message, it's because you already feel it in your chest. That quiet ache you can't explain, the question that loops through your mind late at night when everything else goes silent. You keep wondering why they pick up the phone for everyone else but not for you. Why they almost call, almost text, almost confess, and then disappear again. This isn't about a lack of love, and it's not indifference. It's something far heavier sitting beneath the silence. What Spirit is showing me is someone whose voice carries a weight they don't know how to release. When they see your name light up their screen, their hands don't feel calm, they freeze. Their chest tightens. Their mind rushes ahead to everything that would come spilling out if they let themselves speak. One honest conversation with you would change the trajectory of their life, and they know it. That awareness alone is enough to stop them in their tracks. They are not quiet because they feel nothing. They are quiet because everything inside them is loud. There is a constant internal argument playing on repeat, a push and pull between what they feel and what they believe they are allowed to express. They want to tell you everything, but they are terrified of what will happen once the truth leaves their mouth. Because once it does, there is no going back to pretending. Like this video if the message resonated with your heart. Subscribe to stay connected with more clarity, healing, and truth. Silence has become their shield, not against you, but against the consequences of being fully seen. Speaking to you would force them to face parts of themselves they've spent years avoiding. It would expose the confusion, the contradictions, the unfinished healing they've carefully kept hidden. They are afraid that once you see all of that, they won't be able to hide behind excuses or distance anymore. Spirit keeps showing me that this heaviness didn't begin with you. Long before you entered their life, they learned how to survive by guarding their emotions, by compartmentalizing what hurt, what longed, what needed. When you came in, you didn't fit into those compartments. You touched places they didn't even realize were still alive. And once that happened, control became harder to maintain. Turn on notifications so you don't miss the next divine message. Share this with someone who may need to hear it. There are moments when they replay memories with you and feel an emotional rush so strong it borders on euphoria. In those moments, they imagine a future, imagine finally saying everything they never said, imagine choosing you without hesitation. But those moments are quickly followed by fear. Fear of responsibility. Fear of commitment. Fear that once they speak, they'll be expected to show up consistently in ways they're not sure they can sustain. So they retreat. Not because they don't care, but because fantasy feels safer than reality. In their imagination, they can love you without consequences, without accountability, without risking rejection. But real connection doesn't live in fantasy. Real connection demands presence, and presence is exactly what they are struggling to offer right now. The angels want you to understand this clearly. Their silence is not a reflection of your worth, and it is not a punishment directed at you. It is self-punishment. They are crying in private, replaying conversations they wish they could have with you, practicing words they never say out loud. And the longer they stay silent, the heavier it becomes, because avoiding the truth hasn't brought them peace. It has only delayed a reckoning they know is coming. What Spirit wants to reveal next is how this silence is affecting you, even if you haven't fully named it yet. You may feel their energy pulling at you unexpectedly, sudden waves of emotion, memories surfacing out of nowhere, a heaviness that doesn't seem to belong to the present moment. This isn't coincidence. When someone suppresses feelings this deeply, that energy doesn't disappear. It looks for release, and it often travels along the strongest emotional cord, the one that still connects you to them. They believe, on some level, that you already know the truth. Not logically, but intuitively. They sense that if they finally spoke, you would see through surface-level explanations and ask the questions they are afraid to answer. Questions about why they pulled away when things became real, why they chose comfort over courage, why they allowed silence to stretch instead of stepping forward. The fear of facing those questions keeps them frozen. Like this video if the message spoke to you and helped you gain clarity. Subscribe to this channel to continue receiving messages that support healing, awareness, and growth. But here is what the angels want you to hear clearly. Their silence is information. It shows you exactly where they are emotionally blocked and where they are still running from themselves. It explains their struggle, but it does not excuse the absence. Understanding someone's wounds does not mean you are meant to carry the weight of them alone. There is a difference between compassion and self-sacrifice. Time is playing a powerful role now. Not as an enemy, but as a mirror. With every day that passes, patterns become harder to ignore. They miss you. They fear rejection. They delay. They feel worse. And the loop continues. At the same time, something different is happening within you. You are growing tired, not because you lack love, but because your soul is ready for reciprocity. Spirit wants to validate this truth for you. You did not imagine the depth of the connection. You did not misread the intensity. What happened between you was real, and it left an imprint on them that cannot be erased. Even when they distract themselves, your presence returns in quiet moments, when defenses are low and the noise fades. That is when the tears come, not dramatic, but private and heavy with regret. And yet, you are not meant to wait forever at the edge of someone else's fear. Their silence is not a sign for you to shrink, chase, or explain yourself again. It is an invitation to step into self-respect. To recognize that love that requires you to abandon your clarity is not love that can sustain you. This is where the lesson shifts. You are being asked to choose clarity over confusion, alignment over longing. That doesn't erase the connection. It places it in truth. Whether they speak or remain silent, you are being guided to stop internalizing their emotional paralysis as your personal rejection. There may come a moment when the weight of everything unsaid becomes heavier for them than the fear of speaking. If that moment arrives, the truth may come with intensity. But Spirit wants you prepared, not waiting. Prepared to hear honesty without losing yourself. Prepared to decide what aligns with who you are becoming now, not who you were when the silence began.